Mark, thank you so much for showing me through this beautiful home. It is such a piece of art. Well done with it.
Oh, thank you.
So the homeowners must be absolutely rapt because they've had a home that was a certain way and now this is a rebuild, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We tried to preserve what was good about the original house, and people walk in through the front door, and then they go down the passageway under the ceilings, and then past the wine, and then they come into this space, and then everything all sort of comes together, and hopefully they get a sense of delight.
Yes.
When they come in here.
That's exactly what we get, a sense of delight, and you must as well, being able to give these ideas to the client.
Buildings always, to create good architecture, I think it requires that you have a good builder and good engineers and good interiors people and stuff to help you bring it all together.
Yeah.
These clients were very, very receptive to ideas.
The collaboration between the three main parties, which was the architect, the builder and ourselves, really required the architect knowing what constraints he had, us fitting into those constraints, and the builder actually being able to build the project. Our role as an engineer is to really get that vision to work and stand up. In this instance, I think there was 2 or 3 on-the-run changes where we had to address and get things to work, which we did, and the finished product speaks for itself, I think.
As with all sites, you have problems. To be able to talk to George and say, okay, this is what's going on, be able to physically out here and see it and provide that advice is imperative, and a solution can be thought up there and then.
We spent a fair bit of time working on the facade. We had different versions of it, taking inspiration from the ceiling in the existing house with those wonderful detailed ceilings, and then we thought, well, how can we take the spirit of that idea and use it in a modern way on the facade of the building? So we put the seams on angles, and then we started dealing with angled windows. And then trying to get all that to marry together. It looks simple now, but the builder found it quite challenging to work with the zinc guy and with the steel guy, and then frame it up and get the windows, and so everything just sat just right.
The zones of the house that they actually wanted was to keep the original heritage part of the house, but they also wanted to create a modern living space for themselves. So this house has been divided into 3. We've got the heritage, the modern living out the back here, and the kids zone, which is pretty much upstairs. It did bring about its challenges, so we had to go into unusual building practices to keep the accuracy and tolerances on what was required. We had to work together with the architects and engineers to make sure that it all came together and everything worked before we actually implemented it into our process.
The lady who owns the home currently grew up in the home. Her parents sold it at some point, and the husband, they were overseas in Europe, and they were looking to buy a house in the area, and the husband found this place and purchased it, and then told his wife.
And he had no idea.
And
that
he
this
had
was her
no
family
idea
home.
that it was the family home where she'd grown up in, and
that's incredible. That story is meant to be. You hear something like that and you're like, okay, they're supposed to live in here. So does that put any pressure on you to design that beautiful dream home of theirs?
Well, I do like to push the boundaries of architecture. I like modern architecture. Sometimes you can do it with shape and form. Sometimes, in this building, the masses, sit comfortably against the existing house. When designing, because we're bridging over an existing pool, we wanted to find ways so that you could see the pool from various angles within the building, and that led to the idea of having the glass panels on the floor, and then skylights above that. So when you're in the pool, you can look up through the floor and then up into the sky, and obviously from upstairs you can look down. And the kids love, apparently, they just run up and look at the windows and
look at the pool. Like, it's just gorgeous. I think you've seriously given George the builder a run for his money there.
When working with clients, I try to encourage them to, do something special. If you're going to spend, X $100,000 on a place, you might as well invest in something that's unique.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's the sense that you get in here straight away when you walk in, and being responsible for that, I say well done, because you really have given them their future. It's going to be such a wonderful future and such a cool, unique and very quirky home. A really fantastic job, Mr. McInnes.
Oh, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.